Hey, what happened to the music? Gua, gua, gua. Is that our new music for the day? The music got cut off halfway. The music is back again, but it's too late now. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Ouch My Money. Apparently, I'm Denise, right? And let's see who's going to be first to join me today. The music enough, liao ho.
Okay, I come in first to explain about the music.
Why?
Because apparently, okay, this is not an excuse. Apparently, there's a technical challenge and my laptop hang while it was going live.
Oh,
So
okay.
the
That's why
moral of
play,
the-
play,
yeah.
and I play it.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is, okay lah, I must press live first, then switch on the music next time.
Oh yeah, because we were trying to think that might as well make it more seamless, right? But
Yeah.
then it didn't work. Well, then lesson learned.
Yes, it's okay.
It's just
a good
lesson.
experience.
Yeah, it's just a lesson. That's all. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great to hear. I thought I would have to sing, you know. 夜来香 or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Totally doesn't fit our theme at all.
You guys.
Who's next? Oh ho ho.
Oh, we heard, hey guys.
Yeah, hey guys. Hey girls.
Hey guys. Hi Douglas. Where are you today? Where is he today? Are you in some cafe today? You went to get a haircut, is it?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Hey, I cut it myself.
Really? Did you do it yesterday?
Cannot be
You did
that.
it yesterday?
I cut it yesterday and then I trimmed it some more. I touched up today.
See, because the video he posted yesterday had this haircut, I noticed.
Yeah, but I touched up a little bit more. See
Why?
the fade. Look at the fade.
Oh wow, are you planning to be a barber now?
No, but it's practice. I've been practicing.
Especially, I think with circuit breaker, everybody started becoming barbers and home cooks.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Let's bring in the person that's eating.
Oh ha ha!
Oh, they
Hi,
like.
Chunho.
Yeah.
Hi.
As you all can see from Chunho's background, he is definitely not in Singapore unless he's crazy and wearing a winter jacket in Singapore. And he's eating something. You want to show the audience what you're eating?
Yeah, sure.
And then y'all can make a guess. For those of you watching, y'all can make a guess where he is. Oh, who's that? What's that? Oh, is that fish? I mean, he dropped his fish. Oh dear. It's fish and chips.
That's a lot of fries or chips.
Yeah,
That's a lot of chips.
This is supposed.
That is a lot of fries.
This is small. Okay, I ordered small. I can't imagine what large is.
Is it like a medium? Or is it
No,
small?
it's small enough. I think it's small. I thought it's like could have been half of this. Is just and I ate a lot already. So
But their
much.
size quite big one. What? Their servings very big one, right?
Well, not the fish.
Just the chips. Okay, for those of you guys, Chunho is not in Singapore. He is in drumroll. Chunho 请揭晓答案.
The place famous for fish and chips.
Walao.
Yeah, just he just don't want to say the country or the place.
Manhattan Fish Market. New York.
No, the place famous for fish and chips is at Swenson's Fish and Co.
No, I'm currently in. You can hear the seagull.
Oh, yeah, you hear the seagull behind him. So cool, right?
It's so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a
So
holiday
shocking, right?
also. I feel like I'm on
I
holiday
am-
also.
I am currently in England.
England.
Yes, I went to Dover. My first stop was in Dover. When I landed, I just went to Dover, straight to Dover, not staying in London. I'm not a big fan of London. So took my test and immediately drove all the way, about 2 hours, actually less than that, 1.5 hours, I got to Dover, checked in, and then yesterday I went to visit the White Cliffs of Dover, something I wanted to see I mean, I've seen it on screen, but it's one thing I always wanted to visit, a place where I wanted to visit. And of course, later I'll go and sometime during this week, I'll go to Stonehenge. It is a place that I have not visited since the last time I was in UK. So I thought this is the best time to visit because there's not many travelers and still a lot of people are stuck in their own country. And since we have vaccinated travel lane, is the best time to get up and go.
I realize the seagull is very
Chirpy, right?
very rhythmic, very rhythmic.
Yeah, eyeing my
Like
food.
it's part of our.
They're
Are they
big.
hovering around?
Yeah, and there's a pigeon.
Oh, it's a
Okay,
pigeon.
never mind.
Pigeon makes kind of noise, man.
No, the pigeon is just quietly. Okay, anyway, just go on. Yeah. Bye.
Okay, so basically today we're going to talk about Chunho's UK experience. Not really lah, but we're going to talk a little bit about how his lifestyle choices and his up to now has allowed him to go traveling on a whim if he wants to, which apparently yes he wants to. So oh my god, DHR, I cannot believe it. I feel I'm so happy. I feel like I'm like somehow on a trip also, even though I'm just here at
Yeah,
home.
like living
Like-
through him, right?
I know,
Yeah
I'm just like
lor.
staring at Chunho's screen. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. I want to be there.
So exciting.
On
Yeah,
a
we
whim,
were talking
no.
about it earlier. Why are we not
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Why am I not there?
Yeah.
Oh my
Why
goodness.
you guys not
You
here?
can if you want. But I
I
cannot
can.
on a whim lah. I cannot.
Why?
Because I need to apply for leave, etc. Ma.
Then apply for leave?
Then I
then
have to do
apply for leave
backpack style, I think. Then I have to I'll be like the seagulls begging for food.
I'm kind of like backpacking. Wait, I'm kind of like backpacking anyway. I just
With a
booked a few
car?
accommodations with a car.
That is
Okay.
not backpacking. Backpacking is
Car packing.
car
Well,
packing.
I basically drive from city to city, and then after that, I just park there, and I don't drive. I just walk from place to place from my accommodation.
Oh.
I don't drive into the town because parking is not something I want to do. Driving around town looking for parking is a waste of time. So I just keep my car somewhere else. And usually my
Walk around.
accommodation is a little bit outside the town, so I have to walk into town. Yes, the one that I stayed in Dover was about 1.5 kilometers, 1.2 kilometers away from the town center. That is not the furthest. The last stop, which I'll be in Manchester, is going to be 5 kilometers away from town center, and I'm going to walk to the city center. Sorry, I'm looking at the city just in case.
Yeah, in case they can't steal your chips, right? But you have so
Yeah.
many, just give them one.
No, you
Let me
think
finish
want to coming back.
Yeah,
Now,
correct.
you
That's
can-
true.
Don't feed the wild animal, okay? and the last stop is going to be a 5 kilometer walk into the city center. So every day I'll walk 5 kilometers and walk 5 kilometers back home. And I'm trying not to drive in. It's just too troublesome, but it's good. It's good walking. I like to walk. It's comfortable to walk. Yeah. So I typically stay.
Very far there. It's a very long distance to walk, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
No,
Not-
5
not for me.
kilometers is not.
Oh, it's
It's
not
not for
is
me.
it?
Not about 2 hours. No, about an hour plus only.
I walked to the office last time. It's about 4.5 kilometers.
About an hour plus only,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
Not that long. That's why you can eat chips there and not get fat.
Yeah, I think this trip is one of the things that I'm going to do is to lose some excess fats I have, because I realized in the last 2 years staying at
You
home
have excess fats where?
is building up around my tummy.
Oh, dear.
It's building up. The last 2 years of not going to the gym, just working at home is not enough. And then recently I've been meeting up with friends to have meals, and I realized my friends, they like to eat, and I'm piling on some, and they eat a lot. My friends like to eat a lot. So And every time I have games time with my friends, you know what they're doing? They always order Papa Cha, so Papa Cha is the worst.
So you have
You
Papa
mean-
Cha.
you
So
mean
are you going to make a
Singapore or
$2
UK?
statement?
Huh?
Is there Papa Cha in UK?
Oh yeah, London will have Papa Cha.
Really?
Yeah, all the major cities with Chinatown will have Papa Cha.
On Chinatown
Okay.
lah, that's different ma. Yeah.
I think we need. Okay, Chunho is eating, so later we'll come back to Chunho about his life
Okay,
choices.
you talk
So-
about
so-
whatever you want to talk.
Yeah, so so he's like totally not interested in this. He's like, oh, you just talk whatever. I'm just gonna eat my fish and chips and like walk around UK and chase away the seagulls. Okay, Rachel, why just now we talked a little bit before we came on screen a little bit about Rachel also was thinking, how come she also can travel on the wind, but she's not doing it? How come? Tell us
lor.
more.
Ayo. Yeah, so I was kind of half complaining, half talking to myself, half I know there's a lot of halves, but anyway, so I was sharing earlier that I could have left, I could have traveled. Like, why am I still here? So, and because I stay, for those who don't know, I stay with my dad. So in my mind, I was like half telling myself that okay, I have to be here because of my dad. Then in the same breath, I was also saying out loud that I don't take care of him, he takes care of himself. So it's me that is in my mind, in the frame that I have, that okay, I have to be here because I'm supposed to be here, I need to be here, where I can actually travel and nobody's stopping me from doing that. I think it's me
That's
that's
true.
stopping me from doing that. Yeah, lor.
It's a fact of life. We are the only ones that has the ability to stop ourselves or push ourselves forward. Nobody else can do that.
Yeah. So strange,
Well-
right?
It's time for you to go online to singaporeair.com. But if you can travel, where will you go? Anyway, Singapore very safe, even if your father alone here also okay. It's not
Yeah,
like here is a
lor.
dangerous country.
It's not like he needs me. He eats his own meals and he does things himself. So yeah, lor.
Okay, so where would you travel if you can? On a whim, since we are talking about whims now.
I don't know. Maybe London first because I have friend there.
Are you gonna meet up with Chunho?
No. Because I have friends there. So yeah. And then after that maybe Australia. I don't know. Oh no, Japan. Yeah.
But is
I love
Japan?
Japan.
Japan is not in the list yet.
Oh, is it?
No, as in like if you could go anywhere lah. I know London's in the list. I think Spain also, right?
I think Europe
Spain's
is
in the-
all open up, right? I think.
Malaysia too.
But the good thing about Spain is if you are fully vaccinated, you can get into Spain without any testing.
Oh.
There are some countries like that, the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany as well. You are fully vaccinated. They don't require you to go in with any testing. So just go in. Because the country is so highly vaccinated, 84%, just felt it's safe enough. So if you're fully vaccinated, you don't come in. You're not likely to transmit the virus. And even if you get into the country and you catch a virus, you're not going to fall very ill. So you're not going to, what do you call it? You're not going to get hospitalized and then overload their healthcare system. So those countries with high vaccination rate, they just open up. So Singapore is a little bit kiasi to me. Before you fly into Singapore, must test. Get into Singapore also must test. What nonsense. I don't know who they're protecting. They're not protecting.
But I think it's also because our medical support is going to it's nearing its full capacity already.
Wow, the thing is that we have over 85% people vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and it's just that 15% that have not been vaccinated. Of course, there's some people that cannot or medically unfit to be vaccinated, granted. But who are we protecting? We are protecting those people who are not vaccinated. We are doing all these things to protect the people who are not vaccinated. I'm so glad the Singapore government announced that by December 8th, if the people who can be vaccinated and not vaccinated, too bad. If you get COVID, the government is not going to pay for hospital bills anymore.
Of course. I mean, if they have, I also feel very strongly about that. I mean, if you are choosing not to be vaccinated, then you have to bear with the consequences yourself. What? I'm not talking about those who
Yeah.
medically cannot be vaccinated for some reason or another. But if
Yeah.
you choose not to be vaccinated, then you have to bear with the consequences yourself.
Mhm.
But the government is like tanking it for you right now. You're like paying for
I don't know why. Yeah.
for a shit decision, useless decision. Just don't be stupid. So Douglas, would you travel? But I know Douglas is
No.
homebody. He's not a
Yeah,
fan of
he doesn't.
traveling.
He likes kampong, right?
Unless he can bring
No,
his
I
whole
won't
house with
travel.
him.
Yeah. No,
Would
not
you
not at
travel
this
to a kampong?
point.
And I don't know, I just felt
Maybe.
really this morning.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a lot of inertia at this point in time. I'm just so comfortable where I am, and I have no desire to move.
That sounds horrible.
So last I
Yeah,
think a couple of weeks
growing
ago, I went out.
You may have to mute yourself, Shunho, for a bit. Even
Yeah,
though the
so a
seagulls
couple
so
of weeks
nice.
ago, I went out and I hardly go out because I order most stuff in nowadays anyway. But I went out because I needed to buy an iPad. So I went down to Orchard Road and I hadn't gone out for such a long time. I realized that okay, so Orchard Road has it's a little bit seems a bit strange. So it's traveling to me, traveling to and then I realized that because of COVID, I can't just walk into an Apple store. I need to make an appointment to go in. So I had to leave my name. So I went to the store. I had to leave my name, and it was 1.5 hours later. Okay, so there was a queue outside for people who got the appointment, and they took turns going into the store. And then I realized that it felt really terrible because I realized if I wanted to walk into any of the shopping centers, I need to scan and check in and all that. And it was such a hassle. So I just ended up walking up and down Orchard Road a couple of times until the time of my appointment. So I don't like that feeling of being displaced. I felt very displaced, and I felt that because of COVID's restrictions and all that, and it's a lot of hassle to move around. Yeah, so at this point, I'm not inclined to want to travel because I like convenient and smooth and normal. So not likely anytime soon. But when things are better, I think the first destination is going to be Korea.
Wow, why Korea?
I also want to go Korea.
Oh, because there's this YouTube channel, an Englishman in Korea, something like that. Okay, and who is married to a Korean lady, and so he does these videos, and he goes all around. He brings people to eat to eat food in Korea, and it's absolutely amazing. The places they go to, so it's off the beaten track, and they eat like the Korean steaks, that you get from the market, and then you bring to a store in an alley, and then have it cooked, and then they have these huge crabs and lobsters. So it's going to be an eating trip to Korea.
Uh,
Are you going? I would love to go Korea also. I can help
Yeah.
you to eat you.
Korea and
So it's
Japan.
likely to be next fall, which should be a year from now, because I think early part of next year is still not ideal yet, and then you don't want to go in summer because it's really hot, and you don't want to go in winter because it's really cold. So it's going to be fall next year in
No,
Korea.
I want it to be very cold. I want it very cold. It would be very nice to go to Korea and practice my Korean, my non-existent Korean.
So let's go.
Let's go. if you go Korea, I'll be very excited. I want to go.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, go eat and shop. And
If
buy
it's
the
eating,
cosmetics
right?
stuff.
If it's eating, won't
And
Kai
roller
be
coaster.
on for
And
it.
the roller coasters.
No,
So
no
nice
roller
theme parks there
coasters.
too.
No, no roller coaster. I like
Yes.
roller coaster.
Yes.
No. Okay, you can go.
Yes.
It's fine. No. You
Okay,
can
do
go.
something. So I was watching a video earlier about living life, and so it was a podcast by Joe Rogan, and there was a part of the video that said, do something dangerous, because you only live once. Take the risk, take the
Like
risk, take the
stabbing
chance,
yourself.
do something dangerous.
Calculated risk lah. But
Yeah,
only
yeah,
if
of course.
you want to,
Yeah.
right?
Stabbing yourself.
Is do something dangerous, not do something stupid. There's a difference.
Do something dangerous, but it's stupidity and dangerous sometimes is 一线之差. There's just one very thin demarcation between stupidity and danger.
Yeah.
Korea, I also want to go. Yeah, we should turn our Ask My Money to a travel log.
Yeah, when
Look
we are
at
there,
things
we do that. Yeah.
Look at the things I
Yeah.
eat today. Oh, I would love to eat the marinated crabs, the kanjang. No, kanjang is potato. Marinated crabs. Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
So anyway,
I don't eat that.
yeah. So anyway, how come
Welcome
you're not
back.
traveling? Oh, I have to shift around because the sun is from that side, so it's brighter.
It's so nice, your background. It looks like those
Yeah
kind of
lor.
fake Zoom
Are you by
background,
the
but then
sea or somewhere?
Come by the sea, see the mailbox
see
there.
the sea.
How
Yeah,
does that?
See the sea.
The mailbox is there. Yes.
I'm by the
it's a
sea.
mailbox. It's not a fire hydrant. Goodness me.
I'm by the sea. So yeah,
Nice.
how come
So
you're
why
not
are you
traveling?
not traveling? I don't know. So Rachel, you're traveling. Are you going to go? I mean, oh yeah, wait, something about Douglas. You said that it's very difficult because you have to scan the Trace Together app, right? Now you don't actually have to scan the QR code anymore. You just switch on your what's that called? The Bluetooth. Switch on your Bluetooth on the app, and then you just beep. You know the
I
beeping
still
thing.
need to
You just
open up the app, right?
yeah, you
No.
just beep because you need to show you are vaccinated, ma. So you just beep.
Oh
and
yeah,
then-
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no,
No.
but it's still troublesome.
Wait,
It's a lot better than
you
scanning
actually
the QR
don't need, because if you are holding an iPhone, you need to turn on the app. But if you don't, you're holding an Android. Shit, that cigar is really so delicious. And
So everybody, we see Chun Ho fighting with the seagulls.
and if you are using an especially a Samsung phone, you have to turn on. You just go and you can go in.
No, they
Oh.
want to see your vaccination status.
No,
Yeah.
now you do.
Yes. They want
Now
to see
you
the
do.
vaccination status.
Yeah. Now you do. Yeah, there was a period
I
before
think it's not so the convenience of the Bluetooth or whatever it is, but it just makes me feel very imprisoned. That I need to check in, check out, and so that's the kind of that's the life I don't want. Okay, this check out. Okay, having to be answerable to someone else, having to be accountable for the things that I'm doing. I don't like that. And having
unfortunately,
let's finish.
who is doing that to you? You have to think about who's doing it. It's not happening here in UK. It's not happening this in Europe.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, so that was my experience at Orchard, and the reminder was, I didn't like the feeling of being trapped, or being accountable, or having to follow, or feel very in that way. Okay,
Is it me
which also
or is
reflects a
this
lot.
Douglas volume dropping out? Every
I think
Yeah.
there's like gaps in between.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
gaps, so he
Okay.
then halfway that's suddenly got stopped.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
but your screen
Is it better now?
I
it
think
was
it better now?
dropping.
I'm going
It's
to-
dropping all the time. Anyway,
it's not,
I'm
but
going
it's not
to-
your connection because you were still moving. It's just your voice suddenly gone for like
Okay,
half
hang
a
on.
second.
Let me bring my mic up.
Okay,
Is this better?
better, but I'm
This
not
is-
sure whether it get cut off.
yeah.
Okay.
But keep
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
about the volume. It wasn't about the volume. It was just suddenly there was like
Okay,
a
so it
comma,
could be my
comma,
connection.
comma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
I was leading to.
it just
Still
happened.
the same. Still the same.
Okay, I'm going to lower it a little bit. Okay, maybe it's peaking. Yeah, so
yeah.
anyway, I'll speak slower and maybe a little bit further away. I think long story short. Okay, let me know if it happens again. Long story short, I think it's just the reminder of the life that I want, and I think in the broader sense also, what we were talking about earlier, Chunho traveling and how come we are not traveling, and I think ultimately it's also the decision, the choices that we make of how we want our lives to be like and what we choose to do or not to do. But more importantly, being able or being in a place where we actually have that choice. Okay, and for Chunho, for the last how many years has it been since he left his corporate job? Okay, where um, he has now the freedom to be able to do that because yep, that's how it has been designed. Okay, that's how he has designed his life, and similarly also for the rest of us is how we want to design our lives and how we have designed our lives to then be able to do the things that we want to do. Okay, and I think then having and being able to ask the question, so can travel, how come you're not traveling? Okay, versus a different question that other people might ask, which is having the capacity to travel at all. Okay, for whatever reasons, and for a lot of people, I feel it is a corporate job. Okay, being able to take leave and then all the other considerations around that.
Mm.
So it's where we are at, where we are at, and what we need to do to create this uh, possibilities.
So what we do today, I just had this conversation with Wen Kai today. Like, what we are today is because of what we did 5 years ago.
Mm,
So what we do today will be what we are like 5 years later.
yeah. So things need to be planned. Okay, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes it takes time. It takes time to grow a tree.
But the good news is
Then
if you start just a little bit each day,
mm,
yeah, you can get there. It doesn't have to be like a momentous effort, it's
yeah.
just a little bit each day. So yeah, we should all aspire to become like Chunho.
But
I
I'm
want to
also
be like
starting to
Chunho.
realize. Yeah, I'm also starting to realize that a lot of people who want instant gratification. Okay, live now. You only the whole YOLO thing.
YOLO, YOLO, YOLO.
Yeah, the YOLO
Yeah.
thing, and then it's like there is a trade off. Okay, if you do whatever you want to do right now, there are consequences for the future. Okay, and then yeah. So we've talked about this before, balancing between the now and the future.
Okay, maybe
So how? Yes, you know.
I just want to add, okay, whatever I did, whatever I'm able to do is 20 years in the making. By the time I left my corporate job, I have enough so that I can travel several times a year whenever I want, whenever I feel like it. And usually I travel to places where I have friends so that I can visit them, stop by and all stuff. And I came to UK because I also have friends here. They're in Warrington, but these first 10 days I'll be on my own, going around, going to places that I haven't been before. And then I'll end up last stop at Manchester. They'll pick me up, and then I'll, I'll stay with them for a few days, and then after that, we will take another trip out further north, northeast, to visit because my friends have vacation and he needs to clear as well. So that's that. But prior to the pandemic, I've been traveling, during the year, every year, and it's 20 years in the making. It is what I planned that I will retire 20 years when I started working, and once I stop working, I will have enough to sustain myself and have enough to travel, which is what I want to do. Um, and the other thing is, um, you actually don't need so much to be able to travel. And if you want instant gratification, those type of people who want instant gratification, and if you want to travel, there's another way of doing that. There's working travel, means you travel and you work while you travel. Um, but it's not the reality box of a lot of Singaporeans, but it is available. You can do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't choose that. I don't want to do a working travel while it's available. I didn't want that. I wanted to have a base, and that base is always Singapore. So I thought of everything, and then I built that. But a lot of people don't have a plan. I know a lot of people, especially Singaporeans, they just go to school, learn things, go and start working, and then when they're working and they spend money, they make money, they spend money, make money, spend money, and they don't think about what is it that they really want, and they don't plan for it. All these things need to be planned.
Then I'm curious, Junho, when you plan, you mentioned 20 years ago. So after you quit your job, are there things that happen that derail your plans? Apart from COVID,
Yes.
I mean, COVID is now. So.
Well, the first one that derailed my plan was the Asian financial crisis. It was in 1997. My plan was initially to retire, to get out of corporate world by age 40. But the Asian financial crisis, was a big spanner in my plan. And after that, I recovered from it and realized that I need to defer it by 5 years. And instead of getting out of the corporate world by age 40, I have to get out only at age 45, because otherwise there's not enough. But if you do the math, if anybody who learn, people who go to schools but they don't learn, they learn math and they learn all those interest rates, compounding interest, but they don't actually use it. If you actually can save, and if you put a certain amount of money and then you compound it over the years, in 20 years, you're definitely going to be a millionaire. Actually, 15 years, you can be a millionaire. Okay, depending on how much you put aside, but you definitely by 20 years, you can be a millionaire. And if you put sufficiently aside, you can have $2 million set aside. And then if you continue to invest properly, that $2 million will continue to grow even though you pull money out of it. Go do the math. It's possible. I actually recently did that to confirm, and I said, because I can continue to pull money out of it and it will still continue growing. Because that's what's happening for the last few years. Like, okay, I'm pulling money, and it's still growing. So then I double check. Is me just the anomaly, or it is a mathematical thing that's possible? And I say it's possible. And even though the rate that I'm my portfolio growing rate is faster than the typical, but there is such an investment out there available for those people that don't really want to actively go and invest in all those stuff. There is instruments out there that is quite stable, and you get you enough returns that even if you pull money out of it, if you pull 5 to 7K a month out of it to spend, it will continue to grow. So it is possible. People go to school, learn all the math, and this is time to put the math to work, and not, I don't know what they do with the mathematics that they learn. Okay.
I think the context of the math that we learn or that is taught in school is not designed for personal consumption, but to operate in the economy, to participate in the economy, and so it's a different reality box. It's a different set of rules, or it's a different context for using what we learn in school for a lot of people anyway.
I think math we learn in school is simply math, but when you come to finance, it's a different ball game altogether. Even though they are both numbers. Right?
Well, the
We never
finance.
learn about finance.
Well, the
We never really
finance.
learn finance.
Well, the finance numbers are actually very simple. It's just numerical calculation, plus minus times, all those things. You don't need calculus. It's the basic of all. You don't need calculus. You don't need differentiation. You don't need geometry. You don't need all those funny things. Okay, but the finance one is actually very basic and simple, and it's the basic
It's the
mathematics.
context. It's the putting all those formula into the context to plan. A lot of people don't because they're not familiar with it.
Well, some people just say, I'm not good at mathematics. I can't look at this. I'm not good at numbers. They just stay the way. But it's actually using very basics math.
it's not just about math lah. So sometimes also about doing it, right? Like
Yeah.
there is resistance to making a change in your lifestyle. There's resistance to, or there's a draw for the instant gratification, etc., etc. lah. So sometimes that's where the resistance comes from. Also. Maybe I'm talking about myself. So depressing. Tell us something interesting about travel today, Chunho.
Like we're living through you.
I am.
Today, I just checked out from Dover and I came to this little small seaside town because I actually read that it's actually quite interesting. There's this little place that they call Creative Center, or actually an alley that's in there that's very beautiful. So I just went in, took a look and stuff, and I think I sent some of you some of the pictures. It's actually very beautiful, and that's the reason I wanted to come here. And plus, because it's a seaside place, it's actually famous for all its fish and chips here. So I came here to eat. Actually, let me tell you, so that the owner doesn't hear. This place that I'm eating doesn't have the best fish and chips because I just needed the place to sit. The best fish and chips is actually in the place. It's only takeout. It's called Sandy's Fish and Chip. Okay, it's highly rated.
Are you going to go there and take out later?
Have
No,
you
I'm
tried
not.
it before? How do you know it's the best?
Everybody excited about fish and chips now.
The review was gave it. Man, I checked Google. I checked all the places gave it very high rating, and it was 5-star rating for a lot of places. But it's only takeaway. So you need to take somewhere and sit on the bench and eat. And I think I saw a lot of people doing that. But this is a table. I needed the table to do this call. So I had to eat here.
Oh, so you
But it's not bad.
sacrifice the quality of your fish and chips so that you could.
No, he can have another
Oh,
one.
that's-
It's okay. He can
I
have
can have
another
another.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can just have another one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's that. And this place is called Folkestone, and it used to have a mural here by Banksy. And it was removed already, but they actually took one of the art piece and then they put it in some store. But Banksy is a street artist, and for those who knows him, you understand who I'm talking about. He was very famous recently because of a particular art piece that was auctioned, and the moment it was auctioned, it was shredded because the frame is a shredder. So everybody was stunned. The whole world was stunned. But now the half shredded art piece is worth more than the original art piece.
Yeah, it shreds halfway, right? I think it was going around online for a very long time about the whatever art it is called lah. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Douglas, you have anything else to say? I don't know. I just keep looking at.
No, I'm just imagining. Yeah, as much as I have a lot of inertia traveling right now. I'm also just imagining being where Junho is.
I know,
with
right? I think the three of us
with
just
the-
very quiet. We're just looking at Chunho's background.
Yeah,
But that
I'm
feels-
so admiring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the
So if I-
first time I find Chunho so handsome.
He's like, how you mean? Oh my goodness.
it's like I'm like, oh, 就是看住他而已. Oh my god.
But really, if you guys, I actually initially I also had a lot of inertia traveling. Wanted to travel when they announced that we can travel with the vaccinated travel lane, because it's not straightforward. It is actually a maze. I'm not amazed, but a maze is it's like a maze trying to figure out what you need to do, where you need to all the things that the requirements. It's not straightforward. You go to the website and you can't figure out everything. You need to go to the Singapore side. You go to ICA. Then after you go to MOH, and then after that, then you have to go to check the UK side, and then you figure out the whole piece set, all the requirements that's needed. Because I need to figure out leaving and coming back. Because if leaving and coming back has some obstacle somewhere else, then I need to plan for it first. So it took me 3 days to figure that out. And after that, I almost gave up halfway. But I keep thinking, look, if I stop, um, I'm just going to give up this opportunity where air ticket is relatively cheap now, because air ticket is going to go
Yes, correct.
higher, not just
Yes.
because more people will travel, but because the fossil fuel oil prices is going to go up. So I'm not going to get into that whole crunch. So I said, if I give up now, I'm going to have to spend a little bit more. Plus, there's less people traveling, so I can go to many places in UK that is not going to be crowded. I mean, I'm going to go to Stonehenge, and previously a lot of people go to the Stonehenge and they're just like, they can't even see the place because there's a lot of people there. I like you. I sent you the pictures yesterday. I went to White Cliffs of Dover. There's
Nobody.
practically nobody. As I walk for 1 kilometer, then I see someone. Then walk, then I see someone. It's
Very
really,
socially safe.
yeah,
Social
very,
distancing.
very few people. So which is good. And I thought this is the best time to travel, because you're not going to be in a place where there's just
Squashed together.
massive people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is that nice. Like now I'm here
Mm.
and then you don't see all the tourists all over. Yeah. So I thought this is the best time to travel. So
Yeah. So I, as much as I am imagining being where Chunho is, I don't want to go through all the hassle to be there. So if I
No,
could,
the thing-
if there was teleportation technology and I can just boom, be there or be anywhere, okay, that's fine.
But then Chunho
not
went through
to-
it, so he can educate us now. We don't have to go through the whole Googling and all that. I was just like, Chunho, what should we do? Then he'll like, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this, you know. So it does make things
yeah,
easier.
really, when I was doing that, I was like, oh no, actually, even the travel agents don't really know all the details. No? But if
I think
somebody
it's
have
because
done,
it's very new.
it's very new. But if you have gone
Everybody.
through it, you actually can set up shop and like, okay, I can as a
Chunho,
consultant
you
and
know,
advise.
But it
like
keeps
the
changing, right? Doesn't it?
Huh?
Doesn't the requirement change all the time?
So you just keep up. It's very easy to keep up. And I know all the sites that you need to look at.
yeah.
Somebody who doesn't know will have to figure out where to look for information.
So Chunho can be the information guru
Yeah.
for
Okay, we charge for it.
post-COVID traveling.
So and I tell you, a lot of automation has happened at the airport. No, it's so easy to get through the airport now. The self-service counter in Singapore and the self-service counter in the UK, it's a breeze just to go to. I go to the S, checked in, all the documents given, then you just go and scan your app passport, and then you get through already. That's custom already in Singapore or in immigration. And then you get through. Then when I thought it'll take me a while to get through the UK immigration, because they needed all this other information. But apparently it's all scanned in or all put into the system when I checked in. So the moment I scan my passport, they also have this automated self-service gantry. Scan it, and I'm through. It was like, and there's nobody, so you don't have to have long queue.
Queue and all that. Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
nice.
I got through in like 10 minutes, so out
But I
of the
think come
airport.
December, there will be very, very long queue already. When it's December.
Oh yeah, December is
Yeah.
horrible. December is
A lot of
horrible
people-
because
It's going overseas for countdown and all that, because in Singapore
People are coming
you
back.
cannot stay past 10:30, and then people going
a
back
lot
for
of
Christmas.
a lot of students are going home during
for
Christmas season.
Christmas, for New
My
Year.
friend was telling me she wanted to book tickets back to Singapore. The tickets
Don't
doubled.
have already.
The price,
Yeah,
the air ticket price doubled, $2,000 over.
and I think
Wow.
tickets to UK no more already in December. So up.
Yeah.
So it's either it reminds me of investment. It's like either you are at the very, very beginning, or you are towards the after 1 or 2 years when things have come down. You go during December,
Yeah.
January, I think everybody, it's just like a shitload of
Yeah,
people.
I know. You remember the time I was telling everybody, hey, you must invest in this thing because the climate action is real. Climate impact is real. All these companies that's dealing with making the world a better place to stay in, especially this big company that deal with electrical vehicles, invest in EVs. Everybody just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. If not, they can go UK now. Yeah, yeah.
With the money, with the gain.
So Rachel, are you going to travel soon? If you want to travel now, is the time already. You wait until December.
No lah, I'm not traveling in December. I don't know, Lay. I'm still thinking. I think I'm
But-
procrastinating.
If you, by the time you finish
Don't
thinking it's
think-
December already, then you cannot go. You got too many people already.
Hey, it's already mid-November, okay?
Then next year, lor. There's always
Tomorrow.
time, right? Yeah, there's always tomorrow.
Not really. Maybe you cross the road tomorrow.
Okay, I'm not leaving my house tomorrow.
That's what she says, lah. Cross the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see our friends being overseas.
Yeah.
Maybe
man.
you- because-
so nice to see
that
the
time-
background.
Yeah, just looking at the background, I also feel like, so nice. It was so weird. Because that time, when it first came out, the VTL news came out, right? We were saying that we wouldn't travel. We wouldn't be one of the first few to travel because we were thinking everybody else would squeeze also, ma. You know, like then there will be this mad rush to travel. And then maybe not lah. It's not a mad rush after all. For now.
Well, maybe like 1 year ago there could be a mad rush, but after 2 years of
Inertia.
inertia and 2 years of telling people, seeing all the news about people dying, a lot of people actually have a lot of fear getting out of Singapore.
No lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've got people asking, really man, safe man, not man, but really nobody wear a mask here. Nobody.
So nice to not have to wear a mask. Maybe I travel just not to wear a mask. do we even remember what that was like? You know?
But there are days that I feel like wearing a mask because it's so damn cold.
But I think you can, right? If you want to lah.
You can, but very
Some
few people
don't.
wear
There
a
people
mask.
don't, is it? Very few, huh?
Very few. There's only certain places you need to wear a mask when you go into a very congested area, or you go into a pharmacy, or certain areas that they require to wear a mask. They will state it, but otherwise, most people don't wear a mask outdoors. I'm sitting outdoor now, so
Yeah, no, I can tell. Thanks.
yeah.
For pointing out the obvious.
Yes.
I'm sitting at home now, that's why I'm not wearing a mask. Okay, thanks for the travel log, Chunho. I guess it's last words time.
Last word? What did we talk about today? Oh my goodness.
I don't
Okay,
know.
last
I
word.
think we were all just staring and thrilled at Chunho's background, like, oh,
Yeah,
you
lor.
cute. And then you can see the saliva coming down here.
I think it's just the feeling of freedom. Yeah, I think
for me,
that
the feeling
what I'm
of-
present
It's
freedom.
the feeling of freedom.
Yeah, so that's why I'm very present to right now. That yeah, the last 2 years in Singapore has very much felt like a prison. Maybe it's not just Singapore. I mean, that's all I can say about being here, and it feels like it's a totally different reality box. It's not real. Wherever Chunho is right now is that
It's a Zoom background.
departure from what has been the norm for over a year, almost 2 years. So it's just a shift, and it's a shock to the system. It's a shock to the system right now. It's like, okay, so it's some cognitive dissonance, and getting over that cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that's going to be the very near future as well, coming back, and time to start shifting gears again to
To the
Yeah,
new norm.
the new norm.
Because this
Yeah.
was the new norm, right? People calling it the new norm. And after that,
Yeah.
it's time to shift to the new norm. Is also your
Yeah,
last
so when
words,
Juno
by the
said
way?
no, so when I asked Juno before he flew, whether he brought masks, then he said, yeah, I brought 12. Then I was thinking, you're going to be there for 21 days. You brought 12. How's that going to work? So that was in my mind. Okay, my reality box was 21 days. You have 12 masks. How's that going to work? Because each mask will last 8 hours, and if he's traveling, he's going to be out and about for more than 8 hours a day. Okay, how? And then he said in most places you don't have to wear masks. Okay, and he doesn't, and so he's only brought 12 for the times when he probably will need to wear. And I was like, oh my god, then why? How come they can do that there, and how come we are still stuck in this mask mode?
And also in the 2 packs mode.
And
Oh, but that's
No, but it's still household only.
oh, is it?
households, yeah,
Oh,
households 5.
Oh my god, Rachel.
Social is still 2.
Doesn't matter to me.
I know, but still. it's five. It's 5, but from the same household only. Then you have to bring your IC to be checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
poor
maybe,
thing, right, the shop.
Douglas, you may end up traveling just to be free. You get what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, you may
it's-
end up
it's-
traveling just to feel
So it
free.
really feels like Chunho is on a different planet right now.
Ah,
Because
I'm on
this
Mars.
planet and on this planet that I'm currently on, people are still wearing masks, and we can't really go out and do a lot of things. And it's like, my God, Chunho, where are you? Which planet are you on? Where the reality
join
seems
him.
to be so different. Yeah.
You can join him for sure
Yeah.
and be free.
Yeah, I'm in Mars, back home.
Oh no, you're going to feel so trapped when you come back.
Yeah, the thing is, I was just telling Douglas before I left, I just read somewhere, seriously, with the vaccination result available, and people can even take a booster now.
Mhm.
Most of the people that was vaccinated are actually protected. So why are we always doing all those measures for? It's actually this pandemic that currently still going on. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are protecting the unvaccinated.
Mm.
It's
So we are trapped by the people who are not vaccinated. And it's all
Yeah.
because of them, blame. It's all because of them.
No, if it's
we
for
still-
for those who choose not to be vaccinated lah, you
Yeah,
you
so
just
they're
don't be
trapping us.
stupid.
Can you
just don't
imagine
be
that we are being trapped? We are being trapped by people who are. Okay, I'm not gonna use words now.
It's not just about, but they're not the ones who came out with the laws also. It's the government who is coddling
Yeah,
them.
so it's freedom of choice, right?
It's
And
like the government is coddling them. Oh no, I protect you for a while. Should just like 去死吧. If you choose not to be vaccinated, you just 去死吧. That's what we should do.
Well, the government
For
is
those who are
slowly
choosing-
implementing system to get them to
It's too slow. It's too slow.
think about it. I mean, finally they say that by December 8th, if you are not vaccinated, if you can be vaccinated, you are eligible, and you still don't get vaccinated. Sorry, if you get COVID, too bad. We're not paying for your medical bills anymore.
That's true. And then in January, right, you have to be fully vaccinated to return to the workplace. What's that sound? Oh my god.
what's that? Oh, the
The van.
That's a large van.
But the thing is,
Then that's going to make many people don't want to be vaccinated. Like, there's this meme going around, like how searching for Google how to become unvaccinated again because you
So
don't want to go
then-
back to the workplace.
yeah, but the other thing is that the government will put you on unpaid leave. If you're a
that's true.
civil servant or you're a public officer, they'll be on unpaid leave. If you're not vaccinated,
For
you can't go
how
back to
long?
office. Unpaid law?
Means
For
their
as long
leave
as
is
you're
already-
unvaccinated, lor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
Unless, but I wonder I wonder whether they have a different set of measures for those who are medically unable to be vaccinated. Then that's a
Yeah,
different
of
story.
course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of people the younger people I think a lot of people who are working, some of them, most of them are vaccinated. It's the older folks anyway, they are not working. So a lot of senior folks are, I don't know, they're not
We should
vaccinated.
just ambush them. Take the needle and then we're like, oh, 你看那边操，
You're taking away the choice of them. No, you can't do that.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Then they
yeah.
have to
So
deal
if
with
they
the
choose
consequences.
to whatever, the outcomes
Yeah.
are their responsibility to bear.
Yeah, but now it has become our daiji also. Sadly.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I hope you propose up very, very quickly and then we can start with the mask thing and etc. etc.
Yeah. So we just have to wait it out a little bit more, and And I think really is understanding what's happening based on the facts and getting past all the stories that's going on as well. So we'll get there.
We'll get there. Okay, is that our last words? We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. That's those are my last
His
words.
last
We'll
words
get there.
was what he said earlier. I typed out already, so his last words is this.
Which part was it? Which were my last words?
The present to the feeling of freedom, departure from the norm, time to start shifting gears to the new norm. Yeah.
New norm. Oh, I love this one.
Yay.
New norm.
I did last words without knowing I did last words.
No, you didn't know. I thought those were your last words also. I was thinking
Okay,
those
thank
were
you,
your last
Rachel.
words. Okay, Chunho, you want to do last words?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I box on my chips so the cigar won't come. Yeah, I just want to say that whoever, if you want to plan a life that you can travel, you can stop working and then travel around and just do whatever you want. You can. You just have to plan for it. Whatever I've done here that I'm doing is 20 years in the making since I started working, and I left my corporate job after working 20 years, and then since then, most of my time is just doing what I wanted to do and just traveling and meeting up friends. That's it. So anybody can do this. You just have to plan for it, and just have to plan with how much money you need, and you just have to start. Actually, working is a way of having that stable income, and that's where you actually can start putting money up whatever retirement nest,
Jumping
your
on.
portfolio, whatever. But you have to plan for it, and you have to work on it. You haven't started doing it, start now.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all. I have.
My last words today not very with depth there. I just want the new normal to faster come. I just want the new normal to faster come. That's all. That's my last words. The new normal
Okay.
faster come.
Yeah. Okay, I also don't know what's my last words. Actually, I don't have any. I just like Chunho's background.
I know. I
Yeah.
think the three of us we just like staring at Chunho like wow, so
Yeah,
nice,
lor.
huh? Wow,
Actually,
what is
maybe
this, huh?
we could be like that. Oh no, not like that. One,
Yeah,
two,
who
three.
cares about the three of us? Nobody cares.
Yeah, okay. Who cares about the three of us?
Yeah. It's just Chunho all day. God
Oh,
damn
the
it.
background. Yeah.
Okay, Travelog time people. Hooked and cooked. Oh, so the things that you eat was from Hooked and Cooked, is it?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my
They're not
god.
so. Okay, come back.
The look of,
No, we don't want to come back.
I didn't realize that, but when the camera came back, I saw the look of immense dissatisfaction on my face. I caught it, I was like, oh my god, that's what I was looking like. I see. Okay. All right, thanks guys. We will see you guys 2 weeks later, and Chunho will still be in UK, but next week we will attempt to not be so bewitched by his background. Hopefully, it's somewhere less picturesque, and then we will pay more attention to the actual topic to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Okay, but if Chunho has interesting experiences to share, we will share it next week, in the next episode of Ouch My Money. All right, see you guys 2 weeks later. Good night.